everyone would be interested in hearing Ralph talk a little bit about that. So here's Ralph Metzner.
Well, thank you for inviting me, and I do think the work of the archives of Tim Leary is important. He's one of the most unusual and unique creative individuals of our time, and deserves to be studied. And the book that Ramdas and I started talking about 5 years ago about writing our version of the story, which Tim has told many times, of the Harvard projects and then the Millbrook project. And raise the microphone. Okay, how's that? Okay. Communication works better when the microphone is on and when you speak into it. So anyway, that book is, then we had it in a series of conversations and then moderated by a psychiatrist friend of ours, Gary Bravo. And because, as you know, Ramdas's way of speaking is very halting, we didn't just, so we did a lot of editing and transcribing and editing and editing. And then we also found about a dozen contributions from other people who were participants in the project, because it was really a group project. And it starts with the Harvard experiments, and then briefly the project we had in Zihuatanejo, Mexico, in 2 summers, and then also in the Caribbean, and then a few years at Millbrook, until the time when all 3 of us went off in different directions after Millbrook. So it's about a 5-year period. And contributions by other people, and lots of photographs that have never been seen. And I've just been talking to John Perry Barlow, and he's agreed to write the introduction, which is wonderful. And it's going to be published by Synergetic Press in Santa Fe, New Mexico, who also published the books by John Allen, one of the great 20th century great inventor geniuses, who was the person behind the Biosphere project. And his autobiography has just been published, called Me and the Biosphere. So if you go to synergeticpress.com, you'll see announcements for both those books. And if you go to my website, which is greenearthfound.org, Green Earth Foundation, I publish all my own books myself, and we do the layout together with Regent Press. And I have a new series of short books, the first one of which is called Expansion of Consciousness, that might be of interest to a lot of you people, because it deals with the concept of expansion of consciousness in the history of Western alchemy, spiritual tradition, in the work of Carl Jung and Albert Hoffman. And the second part is the idea of collective consciousness expansion. And collective consciousness expansion is how I see the movements, what are sometimes called countercultural, of the 60s. These countercultural movements were against established systems of power and discrimination and prejudice, like the civil rights movement, the war movement. But that was not the ultimate purpose, was not to be against, but it was for something. A different kind of way of living. You see, the civil rights movement is not just against discrimination, it's for equality and equal opportunity, women's liberation. They call it consciousness raising, similar idea. So anyway, thank you for organizing all this, and support the archives, and have fun.